Hello everybody, I'm Conquering History Games, and welcome to part 18 of my Malenyevist campaign here in Suzerain. So big one today. We're going to be doing the assembly vote on the constitutional changes. Here we go. And I gotta go take care of some things. My throat's actually kind of hurting, so this might be it for recording for the day. I wondered whether my attempt at changing the Constitution would end any differently than Alfonso's. I looked out the window as the noise of the city diminished and saw that we were already inside the palace complex. The complex housed the buildings of all the government branches in the center of Holsword. It was one of the biggest developments in Swordland. The Maroon Palace stood on a small hilltop surrounded by trees. We passed by the palace and entered the forest that separated it from the Grand National Assembly. We drove on the small road that wound through the forest. It was a warm day, so I rolled down the window. I could hear birds singing from the trees. Are you okay back there, sir? Hey, Sergey. I'm okay. How are you doing? I'm as good as I can be, sir. Sergey made a left turn out of the forest and entered the vast garden area of the assembly. Hold on, let me try to find a more relation... let's go here. You know what, actually... I want to use the appropriate music here. This is a big moment, so we're going to use the game's music. Did you know that Tarquin's soul came to Holsword this morning? I heard some politicians talking about it today. Apparently, this is the first time he's come to the city in the last 5 years. I thought he left the mainland and lived on Duru Island, never to return back to politics, but they were saying he might be here to exercise his Member of Honor rights for the first time. Wait, who was talking about this? I overheard several men talking about it around the gardens of the assembly, sir. I'm not sure who they were. It could just be rumors, of course. Do you think he's here about today's vote? Yes, Sergey, most likely. Well, I'm sure he will support you, sir. We'll learn soon. I doubt that. Sergey drove inside the gates of the parkway and parked the car. We have arrived, sir. We have arrived, sir. Thank you, Sergey. Before you go, I want you to take this. My father had this pocket watch. He said it protected him from the evil of this world. I want you to have it. He opened his hand and showed me a very old-looking pocket watch. It looked like it was made during the Century of Revolutions. Let's see, take the good luck charm. I looked at the back of the watch. It was made in 1920. I put it in my front pocket and gave my thanks to Sergey. I opened the car door. Good luck with the vote. Oh, Sergey. Sergey's the best boy. I walked up the stone stairs of the Grand National Assembly. The entrance looked like a temple gate from the classical era. The door opened to reveal vast corridors of wood and white stone. I joined the crowd of people who were walking slowly towards the parliamentary hall. Suddenly, I noticed Lucian emerge from the crowd of packed politicians in front of me. He looked relieved when he saw me. Ah, sir, there you are. Have you seen Vice President Vector? He's nowhere to be found. I've just arrived here, Lucian. I hope Mr. Vector arrives here soon. At any rate, how about yourself? Are you ready to finally face the assembly, sir? As ready as I've ever been, Lucian. I have full confidence in you, Mr. President. We followed the crowd into the parliamentary hall. After we were inside, Lucian and I... Sorry, I thought I heard like a ringing. After we were inside, Lucy and I separated to take our assigned seats. I went up to the mezzanine overlooking the hall and sat down. I waited as the MPs took their places inside the hall one by one. After a while, I saw Gloria walk to her elevated seat at the center of the hall. Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. We will shortly begin today's agenda of the USP's proposed changes to the Constitution of Swordland. According to the current Constitution, constitutional amendments require a 2/3 majority in order to reach Assembly approval. If the vote succeeds, the proposal will be sent to the Supreme Court. The proposal in question includes these points. She started reading the proposal to the Assembly. First section of the changes, Article 55 is modified with the following, highlighting each section. Section 2, paragraph 36, may not exercise its right to the justices. etc., etc. She's just going over what the changes are. We already know this. Hold on. Gavel. As I previously stated, it will require a 2/3 majority in order to pass. You may now cast your votes. I felt the need to stand up and stretch. I looked down at the hall from the platform I was seated on. Some assembly members immediately walked to the ballot box to cast their votes. Most of them, however, began to congregate in groups around the hall discussing the changes. Let's see, go down to the hall where all the MPs are. Let's do a little bit of last-minute hand pumping, right? As soon as I reached the bottom of the stairs, Kizaru Kivner approached me. Mr. President, how are you feeling about the vote? Very positive. Good to hear. I'm sure we'll get through this. I'll go vote now. See afterwards. He abruptly turned away from me and walked towards the seat. Then I saw Lucien waving at me. He was among a group of people in the corner of the hall. I walked up to him. On my way, I bumped into Mansoene Leaky. Yes, I was hoping to run into him. Okay, he is a Swordish politician of Bloodish descent, member of the Assembly and the current leader of the Independents in the Grand National Assembly of Swordland. He was the leader of the pro-Bloodish Workers' Party of Bloodia between 1984 and 1949. He is a strong advocate for the rights of religious and ethnic minorities. During his education in Whole Sword State University in the Department of Literature in 1925, he faced political problems due to his Bloodish background and his left-leaning views, was forced to leave school without finishing his degree. He later enrolled in Dyer University of Culture and graduated with a degree in Mercopian history. After the Izam incident in 1933 and the ban on the Bloodish Freedom Party, he returned to his hometown in Suzerain and campaigned to organize the Bloodish minority under a new democratic political movement. He was allegedly invited to join the militant Bloodish Freedom Front by Dulin Arge personally. He heavily protested against Arge's call for a full-scale insurrection in the region of Bergia, arguing that violence would only result in more violence. In 1948, he joined the Workers' Party of Bloodia. The same year, he was elected to be the leader of the party and ran as the presidential candidate in the 1949 elections. He coined the slogan, "Peace in Bloodia, peace in Swordland, peace in the world." In the 49 elections, he got 6% of the general vote, failing to pass the election threshold. He later resigned from his position despite protests from his own party and ran as an independent in the 53 elections to bypass the threshold. He was elected as a member of Assembly in 1953. What voice did I give this guy? I don't remember. Mr. President, I'm sorry I didn't see you there. I wish you good luck with the vote. He gave me a cold stare. Excuse me. He straightened his tie and walked away. I was hoping I could actually have a talk with him. Sir, did you vote yet? We have to be quick. No, let's vote. I signed my vote and prepared the envelope. Together, Lucy and I walked to the center of the hall to cast our votes. He kept rushing me throughout the process. Gloria bowed her head slightly in respect as she saw us vote. Lucian pulled on my arm and whispered in my ear. Mr. President, we may have a problem. Tarquin's soul is here. What should we do? You have to accelerate the voting process. We need everybody to vote as soon as possible. We don't know what he's capable of right now, but if Assembly members see him, they might influence them against the proposal. Maybe he's here to support me. I doubt that, sir. I think he's here to sabotage the vote by sheer force of personality. Go and ask Gloria to speed up the voting. She banged the gavel several times. The sound echoed across the room. Ladies and gentlemen of the Assembly, we will soon begin counting. Please cast your votes if you haven't already. The pace in the hall definitely increased. The groups dispersed and MPs began lining up at the ballot box. Suddenly, Lucien pulled me aside. Sir, what do we do? He pointed at the back of the Assembly near one of the exits. I followed his finger to see Tarquin's soul sitting there. He looked much older than he had 5 years ago, but I could tell he had the same fire in him. Some MPs had already gathered around him and were chattering in awe. The Assembly went quiet as people started to notice Soul's presence in the hall. We have to make sure he doesn't sabotage anything. We should refrain from giving him the spotlight he expects. Maybe you could address him after the vote. As I was talking to Lucien, I spotted Kizaru Kivner walking to the back of the hall towards Tarquin's soul. He bowed in front of Soul and gave him a military salute. Seeing this, more people started to approach him. Suddenly, Gloria came up behind us. Gentlemen, why don't you go back to your seats? Let's follow the procedure. By the way, we have 251 members today. As you can see, the member of honor is here. He has already cast his vote. It's hard to get so high. Has he now? So, Mrs. Tory, how many votes are missing? Only a few. Albin, Clavin, and 3 other men approached us with envelopes in their hands. And these must be them. I forget. I need to, like, make notes on what voices I give people. But, yeah. Good day, Mr. Clavin. I'm sorry to take so long, Mr. President. There was a friend who needed more clarification for his vote. Let's get this over with, gentlemen. Let's win this, Mr. President. He walked to his seat with a fist in the air. Now, why don't you two get back to your seats as well? Very well, we shall. I saw Peter sitting in the chair next to me. Did you cast your vote? Yes, of course. He looked at Gloria. She and her assistants counted the votes. The speaker's seat was only a few meters away from our platform. I really hope this proposal goes through. It will. Let's see. How many votes left? She looked annoyed. It's looking pretty good. 20 more votes to count. Thank God. Thank God. Are you invoking God? This is an evolutionary nation, Peter. Just shut up, Peter. Sorry. He looked uneasy. Pointed where Kizaru Kibner was sitting. Look at Kizaru over there. I'm sure he was behind this mess. You shouldn't have trusted him. Let's see. It's not over yet, Peter. Don't jump to conclusions. The voting has been concluded. I leaned forward to hear the results. Oh my gosh, so nervous. The proposal has 179 ayes and 72 nays. Thereby, the Grand National Assembly has surpassed a 2/3 majority and accepted the changes to the Constitution. Yes! The proposal will be presented to the Supreme Court shortly for the final voting procedure. The Assembly roared with all kinds of different reactions. Yes! We did it! It's just the beginning. Suddenly I noticed Tarquin's soul slowly rising from his seat at the back. He seemed to be struggling and used his cane for help. He stood and gazed around the hall as all members of the Grand National Assembly went silent. Call out to him. Former President Sol. Oh, I was hoping I could, like, fling an insult at him. It's probably a bad idea. Former President Sol. Nice of you to join us. He looked at me. Congratulations, Mr. Rain. Oh, congratulations, Mr. Rain. He turned his back and walked out the exit. 2 of his guards held the doors for him. Thank God he didn't do anything. In any case, the proposal has passed the Assembly, but now we have to think about the Supreme Court. I'll talk to the key figures of the court. We'll be fine. I have complete trust in you. After I talked with Peter about the vote, we both left the hall to discuss our next steps. We waited for Sergei by the entrance. Woo! Oh yeah, baby! Feels good. Reform package passed the Assembly with 179 ayes and 72 nays. We even had a little bit of wiggle room there. Very nice. The radical new Constitution has passed the Assembly. Let's see here. Getting a proposal like this past Gloria Tory's gavel must have required a great deal of compromise. Getting approval for the Supreme Court will require even more. Kibner congratulates the President. Aligning with Kibner's party was key to gathering the amount of votes needed for Rain's proposal to pass. And this meeting shows the USP and NFPA may remain in cahoots through the remainder of Rain's term. Oh, not so much. Rain's reforms win over Assembly. Number of votes to 166 to 2/3. Still, Rain's new amendments passed with flying colors. Whew! 251 members of the 250-seat parliament. Really? So somebody abstained from voting. Didn't say that or not. Huh. Okay. Meeting on the results of the Assembly vote. Okay. The first obstacle has been cleared. Congratulations to all of us. We can celebrate once we get past the court. President's right. The Assembly was the easy part. Still saying in whole sword. Him appearing out of nowhere. Let's see here. He came to the assembly to make a statement, but we still won the vote. Okay. What Lucian said, we apologize. That wasn't your fault. Okay. Let's see. What's done is done. Let's not linger in the past. We gotta plan ahead. Okay. They're not all... There's Mrs. Edmonds. They're not all grumpy old men. Let's see here. The real trouble is their Big Daddy Hawker. We can't let him control the court against us. We surely cannot. We need to work with Mr. Garachi and Mrs. Edmonds to undermine or so. Mrs. Morgan has been reluctant to help with the lobbying of the court, but she's accepted to at least try and convince the justices to organize a meeting with us, which means our lobbying efforts have not yet borne fruit. It will be up to you and Mrs. Morgan, sir. And Nia was pretty adamant about her position against the proposal. That's already one vote lost out of 11. I don't know what we're gonna do here about the. Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty damn sure that we can't swing over her. Yeah, it's probably not gonna happen. I don't know. I just don't know. We're gonna say... So she's serious about voting against the proposal. I'm afraid she is. I knew she'd be a headache. Not to make it more depressing. Oh yeah, let's go ahead and turn this back off. Come over here. Not to make it more depressing, but it's not only about her. It's not about forget Mr. Hawker and his Voyalists. That's 4 or 5 votes gone right from the start. Yes, we'll need to reach out to the old guard and the moderates in order to reach 6 votes. There's not much leeway. Do you think we can do it? We've come this far. Anything is possible. We may need to take some extreme measures, though. Hey, we won the vote comfortably. I'm sure that counts for something. There's at least some pressure on the court now. The court still sees us as a threat. They will not be persuaded so easily. We never expected this to be easy. Nothing has changed. That's true, sir. Alright. How about, so we're going to meet with Edmonds. If she's willing to talk, she's willing to cooperate. I'm sure you'll convince her. Look who's coming. It's Kibner. He walked up to us with a smile on his face and spread his arms wide as he approached us. Here you are, the most dangerous men in the Maroon Palace. Good afternoon, Mr. Kibner. Damn right we're dangerous. Lock up your daughters. Peter laughed. Kizaru squinted into the bright sunlight. God damn, this sun. He reached down to his pocket. He pulled out a pair of sunglasses and set them on his nose. Did you 3 figure out the court situation? Most of them have been resisting our efforts, but we're working on it. It's not looking good. We'll figure it out, Mr. Kibner. I'll be talking to several of the justices very soon. I see. But we're moving forward with our alliance, yes? It's not the time for that. We must first pass the court. I might also be able to help with this whole court situation. I know Mr. Garachi well. I know that he said he's not open to any talks before the vote, but I'm sure I could convince him to meet with you. Oh, Kizaru. Played you like a fucking fiddle, baby. That would be very much... That's good news. Can I count on you to bring him to the table? Of course. I'll do my best. Anyway, I'll leave you 3 to whatever you were conspiring to before I came. The heat here is killing me. We should catch up soon. Well, that was interesting. So, we are seriously joining forces with the NFP, huh? I'm not sure how deep we'll dive in. For now, we'll cooperate. Gotcha. Coalition government with the NFP can mean a lot of things, but one thing's for sure. Mr. Kibner is a dangerous man. He'll use all the power we could give him. We should be careful, sir. Lucian looked at his watch. I think it's time to conclude our little meeting, sir. Livia's here. Pardon the interruption, gentlemen. Mr. President, David Visky is calling about the upcoming foreign policy meeting. Perfect timing. Tell him I'll be right there. I will, sir. Congratulations on the victory, Mr. Rain. Peter. The first name basis. Oh my god. Peter's eyes followed her as she walked out. Getting pretty hot out here. I need a drink. I can help you with that if you want, after I'm finished with the arrangements, of course. Of course, find me when you're done. We'll go have some nice whiskey. So that way he's not banging the secretary. Great, my mouth's already watering, he laughed. Alright, gentlemen, see you later. So, I sent Kizaru Kudner after to convince Hero and Karon Garachi for the vote. Blah, 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 blah. What we got here? Invitation to the movie premiere, or we could do Rumberg, Whistleblower arrives. I don't know what I want to do with the Whistleblower. Maybe this might have to be something where I refer to the decision thing, but I don't know if there's a thing. Rumberg, Whistleblower arrives. I don't know. I think we're gonna take him in. Yeah, Whistleblower has escaped to Swordland by crossing the border and turned himself into the authorities in Estord. He has promised to reveal extremely sensitive information about the development of a weapons program. We can give refuge to him and risk antagonizing Brumberg or send him back. We're going to grant him asylum. Okay. Now, the movie premiere. I think this is just like a movie, like, fidgeting with his tie. What's wrong, Frank? Since when do you care about what's happening in my life? You know I'll support you whether you pass or fail those exams. What an honor, Your Highness. Okay. Frank, don't talk to your father that way. He's been working so hard for this country. Ignore him and talk to Deanna. Excited for the movie, sweetie? Deanna nodded happily. What about you, Papa? You won something. Everything's gonna be wonderful from now on, right, Monica? Or how about that's my girl? Thanks a lot. Everything's gonna be wonderful from now on, Monica. Let's focus on a nice time at the movies. Thank you, Sergey. Main square of Erlery. Yeah. So this is basically we're going to see this like big swordish guy. Constitutional reforms made through the Assembly. How do you feel about your chances with the Supreme Court? I trust the justices will make the right decision. Tarquin Sol would be present at the proceedings. I'm gonna say no. I had to find. I refuse to discuss Colonel Sol at this time. Okay. Yeah, Alfred Kasarubik. I'm a big fan of your work. Frank snorted. It's humbling to know you've been watching and enjoying my movies. Which one was your favorite? Let's see here. Which one was the Swordish Dream? Resident Carl. The Man Who Saved the World. I loved the Swordish Dream. Oh, really? Then you might enjoy this one, too. I didn't expect you to be such a cinephile. Frank looked me in the eye and struggled not to laugh. What's it? Yeah, it looks like Frank just is a little teenage angsty bitch, no matter what. It was a period drama in the 1870s about a sort of soldier who pursues a doomed romance with a widowed bloodish farmer during the conquest of Bergia. So, what did you think? He leaned on his cane. He had the same frail appearance, but there was a raw magnetism. I'm happy the plight of the bloodish might finally get the attention it deserves. Be careful where you extend your sympathies, President Rain. I'm surprised to see you're still around, sir. What were you doing at the Assembly? My country was about to make a rash decision. I couldn't simply sit by. It's not your country anymore. I suppose it isn't. Perhaps my clout with the Assembly isn't what it used to be, but you may yet encounter difficulties pushing your reforms through the Supreme Court. Why do you want these reforms blacked so badly? I will not have my party and my constitution tarnished by a tyrant. Your constitution is ancient history. Or how about you calling me a tyrant? Or I don't know. My reforms will bring... I'm doing this for the good of the country. There we go. Ha! Some of his spit will land on my cheek. You'll find out soon enough how your country repays you for your goodness. Then he left. Let's talk with Soul! Oh my god! Alright, I think we have time for maybe one more thing. What have we got here? Ceremonial duty for the day, dissension. No, let's not do that right now. Kibner congratulates on the vote results. Dinner with the family at home. I guess we'll just do this and call it a day. There's a muscle sob. Monica's on the sofa, a letter in her hand, and a look of despair on her face. Who is it from? Monica briefly rested her head on my shoulder, then handed me the letter. It's from the Department of Education. Frank's university exam results are in. Let's see. Why are you so worried then? See for yourself. I looked at the page. Below Frank's name and address, his score was written. 435 points out of a total of 1,000. At the bottom of the letter, the word failed was stamped in red. All those years of effort, all those private lessons, all down the drain. He brought this upon himself. This isn't just about Frank, you know. Him failing will reflect badly on you, on us. I just don't understand. Frank's a smart boy. Why would he sabotage himself like this? I heard a key turning in the front door. Frank stomped in and was about to go straight upstairs when he noticed us both in the living room. Yeah, I wish I was going to war so I could pack him off to the military. Hold on. Give me a second here. Hold on. This is a little bit too much. There we go. Wait for Monica to start the conversation. Your exam results arrived today. He read it. Oh, shit. That all you have to say? I need a moment. He washed his face and came back. I never thought this would happen. I'm so sorry. You made your mother cry with your actions. I know. I can't do anything right. It's gonna be okay, but you really should have studied harder, Frank. I know. What am I supposed to do now? Let's see here. You'll go to military school, of course. It's the only place that will have you. Anton, isn't there anything you could do? If Alfonso could get his dimwit son into Kings Hill University, I'm sure Wholesword State would have room for a bright boy like Frank. I'm not going to take life lessons from Ewald Alfonso. Wholesword State would be amazing. A bunch of my friends are going there. I could still come home to do my laundry. Oh my god, you little fucker. For role-playing reasons, I'm sending him to Contana, but what a little bitch. Wait. You could also study abroad. With enough money, I could get you into Hartcade in Arcadia. It's one of the best universities in the world. No, I don't want to do that. Why was that? That sounds great, actually. Oh, I'm baiting him. We're going to pretend we're baiting him. Yeah, son, with enough money, I could get you into Hartcard in Arcadia. It's one of the best universities in the world. That sounds great, actually. Anton, I want him to stay in Swordland. Mom, I've got to get out and experience the world sometime, and in Arcadia, people might see me as something more than just the president's son. I still don't like it, but I understand. What do you think, Anton? On the other hand, United People's University in United Contana is free and has an excellent medical program. Communism? I can dig that. Not exactly how I was expecting to spend my student years, but anything's better than the military. This is the future of our boy, Anton. What should we do? It's been decided. You're going to United Quintana, Frank. Thanks, Dad. Holsword State still would have been my first choice. God, this little fucking bastard. Not only yours, but it's your call to make after the way I messed up. Monica let out on an exhale. Oh, what a day. Who's hungry for dinner? Monica disappeared to the kitchen, Frank to his room. I went to my office and began making some phone calls. Just a ring, ring. President Malenyevist. Yeah, I got a real loser on my hands, but you can straighten him out, huh? Well, that'll be it for today. So, very happy we got the Constitution passed through the Assembly. Of course, the Supreme Court, I think, is, in fact, going to be the more difficult one. Wow, a lot of news. A lot of news. It's probably a combination of the soul stuff. So in the next episode, it looks like we're going to do the Day of Dissension, then we're going to keep working on our diplomatic strategy. So I guess soon we're going to be figuring out the deals with Volksland and Lesbia. I don't think Lesbia is going to have anything to do with us, but we're going to try at least to get a trade deal, because money is nice. Gosh, I really want this economy to start spinning around. I think though, once this like, you know, we've got a lot of irons in the fire. The highway is halfway there. We're working on the agricultural zone. We could still get 2 more trade deals. We still haven't made an alliance with United Quintana. That's probably going to have some financial benefits. So hopefully this is all going to work out. Anyway, I'm Conquering History Games. Thank you very much for joining me, and have yourself a drink on me, you know, because we got through the assembly. Bye-bye.